head to the 2014 World Championships as the #3 seed for Europe. And this is a good time to check out the other teams that have been confirmed so far. We'll know, of course, that SK now will be joining Alliance and Fnatic, who are in the finals tomorrow as the teams representing Europe. And this week at GamesCom, don't forget, Dark Passage also qualified the Turkish team through the international wildcard. They managed to get a seat as well. This morning, the Taipei Assassins, they qualified for Worlds by winning the 2014 GPL Summer. And of course, a few weeks ago, we saw Samsung Blue become the first team to qualify and guarantee their seat from the OGN champions. Guys, what do we think overall? The teams, 6 teams so far, many more to get locked in, but already it's building up to be an amazing World Championships once again.
Yeah, of course, your natural response kind of looks at the Korean teams after the dominant performances of last year, but we're still to figure out exactly who's going to be coming over from China. Funny thing is, you look at Dark Passage there as the weakest team, I think, that's qualified so far, but the way that they played in wildcards are some of the most exciting League of Legends that we've actually seen in a while, and it wouldn't surprise me if they can take a couple of sneaky games off teams.
They can definitely surprise people, because if you don't expect like instant action, like instant people who are just gonna constantly team fight you, you might get surprised, you might end up falling too far behind and can lose it. We also, of course, if you look at the European teams, now we saw SK Gaming dominate Roccat. Remember, Roccat won 2 games against Fnatic yesterday, where Alliance actually managed to beat SK Gaming, only losing 1 game. So I'm not sure if this means Alliance is you know, a step above Fnatic. We're going to find out tomorrow. Starting the hype here.
That's the classic. We beat these, so they beat them. So that means we're going to dump on them.
All I'm saying is that SK Gaming looked extremely strong against Roccat. Or we could say Roccat didn't really show up today at all. So tomorrow, I really want to see what Alliance can do against Fnatic.
But as Jez did just say, you know, or Candy Panda rather, they did rewatch some games, and SK were winning in all of those games. So while they're coming through as the #3 seed for Europe, they're a very strong #3 seed.
They are. Going into Worlds, of course, they will be down in a Group D or possibly at the number 3, the bottom
seed.
So it's.
I just said it.
You did. I meant more the fact. Okay, so we have the European and NA #3 seed being down the bottom end. We have 4 groups.
Yeah,
and no, the bottom.
Do we need to show you the graphic?
The problem with being a 3rd seed is that you are going to end up in a group of death, technically, because you are going to meet a higher seed from one of the other regions.
And that's the big thing about being #1. You know, you avoid the top North American, the top Chinese, and the top Korean. The top Korean is Samsung Blue, as far as I'm aware, in terms of point standings. Of course, close your ears now if you don't want to know spoilers, but they did lose the OGN Championships. They didn't win it. KT Arrows did. So are they the #1 Korean team?
And will KT Arrows even qualify? That's
it,
the thing as well.
They're only #4 in the
to be decided still.
Yeah. So there's a long way to go, obviously, over there. So a lot of matches to happen. North America, that's coming up in a few weeks as well. So much action, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, tomorrow we have the final European LCS match of the Summer Players, as Alliance will be battling Fnatic for the championship crown and that important #1 seed at Worlds in a best-of-5. That's all happening, of course, tomorrow. Some fantastic games that we've had so far throughout this week at Gamescom. Any big moments that stand out for you?
Any big moments? First of all, I really like watching the wildcard teams, because you get these new regions and you get these players to represent their region. And as a European, of course, we have all the national pride of the Danes. I have for the Danes here. And whenever we do have any kind of competition between countries, and it was nice to see also all the people supporting the wildcard teams. That was definitely a big moment. Otherwise, I mean, SK Gaming completely destroying Roccat right here. It surprised me. I was expecting 5 games, to be honest. And then SK Gaming just show up here.
Yeah, for me, it has to be the semi-final. Roccat Fnatic, in my opinion, one of the best-of-5s that we've seen in the European LCS so far. Roccat was so close to winning that game, which I think is why this loss here might even be tougher to swallow for them. Getting 3-0'd, not looking like you've got much of a chance by the end of it. But they came so close to beating Fnatic yesterday. Tough pill to swallow for Roccat, but in my opinion, they can be proud. They came in as KMT, and they're leaving as the 4th place team from the Summer Split. I mean, they've done a lot of work this year, a lot to build on for next year.
Yeah, I think their future is absolutely secured. We'll see how they work out in 2015. Of course, right now, 2014, the World Championships, that's what we want to focus on. And Cyanide and Fnatic, well, they're hoping to continue their string of winning every split in the LCS, while Frog and Alliance, well, they look to take it for themselves.
All of us want to really finish first, because we already did it 3 splits in a row, and we don't want to stop them now. We want to keep the image that Fnatic is the EU team to cheer for.
We kind of want to see Fnatic lose after 3 splits. It would obviously be really fun to actually take that away from them.
Can they do it? That's the big question. Fnatic,
4
3 splits running. Can they get the 4th? Nobody has won the European LCS other than Fnatic. They have dominated it across the 2 seasons. You guys came close at one point. Not quite there.
We were close to being #1. We still had to win the playoff.
Honestly, until Extinct left, I had you down as potential #1 in that split, but then it all.
But that's the thing about Fnatic, man. They just make sure everyone else don't have a chance to win.
They've
So tomorrow,
solid,
Roccat is going to be sick. He's gone. Fnatic takes it.
I'm not too sure about that one. Remember, of course, that series will be kicking off on Sunday, tomorrow here at 3 p.m. Central European time. That is Hall 8 at GamesCom if you're there, or 6 a.m. Pacific if you're over in North America. That does it for us, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to extend a special thanks to Crepo once again for being our guest on the analyst desk today. And now for myself, Deficio, Joe, and Quickshot and Shocks, and the entire broadcast team, thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. SK Gaming, they're going to be taking on Roccat in a best-of-5 for the all-important seat at the World Championships.
That entire time, there's going to be the promo power, and it is going to be the charm that gets it. And very
this is 4 members.
This could be real bad for Roccat.
It is going to be Roccat going out in game 1.
Oh, they're actually going in towards Jankos here. Have they got it down to him? Svenskund actually going quite low. Freddy that will jump in, does get finished off by Jesus though. In the end, and Freddy will also pick himself up a kill.
It's 2-0 in SK Gaming. They're 1 step away from Wolves. Shockwave comes out, Jankos repels. He's going to try and draw their attention. They're going to keep on pushing this one. Zazas teleports in. Intervention will stop him dead in his tracks. He needs the land up, but the Shockwave pulls him in, and Salavar gets happy, Joe? Vanderin goes down as well. SK Gaming are the #3 European seed.